Hello, Feuzion. My name is Alex Fuse, and you are watching a brand new Fusion News episode. I am on the phone right now with Billy Bhatti, who is in London, England right now. He lives there. So, Billy, I know you are a big wrestling writer now and reporter on the WWE. So, Monday Night Raw was last night, and WrestleMania, the Ultimate Thrill Ride, is, of course, in just 2 weeks. So, are you excited that it's now only 2 weeks away until WrestleMania?
I'm excited because I'm going in 4 days, so
Oh, wow.
I'm going to get the thrill rides in first, the real thrill rides, and then I'll go to WrestleMania at the end of the week. So
Oh, wow.
I'll be going to Orlando on Friday.
That's awesome. And so, is this the first WrestleMania you've ever been to?
No, this is my 11th WrestleMania,
Oh, wow.
actually. It's the first one for my 6-year-old boy,
Oh,
but
wow.
it's actually my first one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sorry, my 11th one. It's his first, my 11th.
Okay, wow. That's awesome. You know, I went to WrestleMania Access in New Jersey at WrestleMania 20, and I did not go to WrestleMania, but I was in town for the event.
Yeah, Access is good the first time you go. The first time you go to Access is quite a big deal, but it doesn't take too long to walk around till you've seen it all. So it's probably best to go if you can secure one of those VIP deals. They actually just give people some advice on a lot of people buy those up, unfortunately, in order to make a profit. However, they don't always sell them. So on the day, you can actually pick those up for face value if you want to meet one of the top superstars.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, check StubHub on the day if you might be able to get something.
Okay, Billy, so of course, Monday Night Raw was last night, which saw Roman Reigns and The Undertaker face off to close out the show. Are you excited for this Roman Reigns and Undertaker match at WrestleMania, or are you kind of just hoping it did, in fact, happen between Undertaker and John Cena, which this may be Undertaker's last match at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I think it is Undertaker's last match. I think next year they're going to headline with the two guys that beat him in New Orleans. I don't know what that means for Roman. I mean, the storyline will probably say that he wins and obviously leaves as the babyface. But in between that, you have 12 months to go with this heel turn. I hope that they exercise that at WrestleMania 33. I'm hearing that they're going on last now. I'm hearing that that's more to do with the stipulation they might add to the match in terms of The Undertaker retiring rather than Brock Lesnar and Goldberg not being able to do anything decent out there. But that's not been confirmed. Whether it becomes a stipulation or not, it will be The Undertaker's last match from what I'm hearing, and Roman will be going over.
So how do you feel about that?
I'm not one of these people that hate Roman Reigns. I think that he suffered from some very bad writing, which has improved actually in the last 6 months. But once you get that reaction and once the fans turn on you, it's almost a knock-on effect where the people don't even know why they're booing. But when they see everybody else do it, they'll boo. It happens to my 6-year-old, and you would think that grown-ups are a lot more mature, but you can, once you get into that atmosphere and once you get into that kind of that peer pressure mentality that can be brought on in big crowds, then you all just tend to boo. It's become cool to boo, and yeah, I can understand why my 6-year-old doesn't. My 6-year-old doesn't like Roman Reigns, and his explanation is because everybody boos him. So that kind of knocks on to him. So I think that's kind of what's happened. And the only way you repair it is that you make him really cool. And with this current generation of fans and with the fickle nature of society in general, I think that if you turn him, he'll become cool very quickly. Lose the vest, lose the Shield music, lose all of that, turn heel, start again, and then by next year you'll be ready. And when you do beat Brock, after he's had the belt for 12 months, then people might respond to it positively. But you have to do the turn. And when you beat Undertaker anyway in his retirement match and send him away, no one's going to like you anyway. It doesn't matter if you were a face going in anyway.
Yeah, you know, I'm looking it up right now, and it looks like, you know, Brock Lesnar did not get cheered after he beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. So, having Roman defeat The Undertaker at WrestleMania is not going to make him that top babyface, which the WWE wants him to be, right?
No, absolutely not. That's pretty much going to be the thing which makes it impossible to. I mean, at that point you have to turn him, and you think with the way he's been acting lately, and the fact that internally they're not expecting him to be cheered, you think that they would know that what to do next. I mean, from my perspective, I think that the match is more productive than doing the Cena one now. Now I know the ins and outs of it. Now I know that Cena's going part-time and his girlfriend's pretty much going to be retiring as well afterwards, and they're going to be doing this whole marriage proposal on the show. I think that it wouldn't have made any sense. You get nothing out of Undertaker John Cena. That's what people need to realise. Yeah, it'd be good to see for the Mania crowd, but you're all the same people that are going on the dirt sheets and the forums and all those and Twitter and saying that, WrestleMania Post has all the part-timers in, but you're lobbying for a part-time match. You're putting Roman Reigns over the Undertaker. You're getting something out of it. You're getting 10 years out of it, at least, whether you like it or not. With John Cena winning against Undertaker or vice versa, yeah, absolutely. So it is actually a logical decision in the end.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Now, on the SmackDown side, of course, SmackDown's starting right now. And it looks like it's going to be AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. Shane McMahon, I thought maybe last year was going to be his last match, and then he was in a match at Survivor Series. And now he's back in the WrestleMania spotlight. So how do you think this match is going to go at WrestleMania this year?
Well, I think it needs a stipulation. I don't remember a Shane McMahon match ever not having one. I think if we look back to possibly the X-Pac versus Shane McMahon at WrestleMania 15 may not have had one, but that's very early in Shane's wrestling career. Ever since then, I believe it's been very much stunt and weapon orientated. And if you add that to the match, you can get by. It's a waste of styles in that environment. But I mean, one guy is going to be pulling out the wrestling side of things and carrying that match, and the other guy is going to be the victim of quite heavy violence. I think with that combination, you can pull it out. And I mean, it's the ultimate test of AJ Styles, and I think that's why he's been put in this position. One thing that people need to understand is that whereas we may see Shane as one thing, his dad runs the company and he sees Shane as something else. Shane's always drawn numbers. He saved WrestleMania 32 last year financially anyway. So when they talk about WrestleMania within that company, they do turn around and say, what's John doing? What's Undertaker doing? What's Brock doing? And what's Shane doing? And if you're paired up with him, it's somewhat of a compliment. And although AJ Styles isn't in a position to deliver a 5-star match against somebody like Fowler or Rollins or someone who can work really well, he has been handed a compliment of carrying Shane to something. And then afterwards, we'll see what happens with AJ Styles for the rest of the year. I believe that this will lead to him ending up on the Raw brand, but we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah,
and now, Billy, before we wrap up this interview, if you could make the top 4 WrestleMania matches, who would be main eventing that WrestleMania, and who are the top 4 matches that you could make that WWE may have not have done this year? Who would you put up against each other?
That's a tough one because you have to unbook the entire card. I mean, I think they got it right with Rollins and Triple H.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an overall problem with the card. I think I would have just switched a couple of things around. I probably would have found. I mean, I probably would have done Finn Balor and Undertaker because that way, you can do the whole respect thing at the end. You don't need to essentially put yourself in a position where you have to do a turn. I would have been more excited about doing Roman against Goldberg. That seemed like it was more interesting to me. And then you could have got round to Goldberg and Lesnar again and save it instead. I mean, I don't know how you would have got around that, but and I think then I would have just gone ahead and I don't know. Some questions to be put on the spot to answer. I don't know what you would have done with Brock Lesnar in that situation. I guess you could have put him in with Shane, but then I think that match was cancelled because Brock didn't want to do it, and it's hard to see. I don't want to see Brock Lesnar selling for Shane McMahon either. So there isn't much you can do. I mean, as soon as you made that decision to put Goldberg over Lesnar, you had to do Goldberg on Lesnar here. As soon as you decided that you wanted to, Undertaker was going to retire, you had to give Undertaker to a guy that you want to get something out of. That could have only have been Finn or Roman. So it's hard without going all the way back to November to undo this card. If you go all the way back to November and make the decision to not have Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar, then you don't get all this merch and all this time out of Bill Goldberg. So it's really hard to go back. If I was to go all the way back to November, then I wouldn't have programmed Goldberg and Lesnar in together in the first place. I'd have had Goldberg beat somebody else who had an issue with him being marketed with the video game. Someone in the upper mid card, somebody like an Owens or somebody way back in at Survivor Series. I would have put Goldberg in differently instead of jumping into this Lesnar match. But that's really about it. It's hard to undo everything unless you go all the way back to November and retell all the stories. But I believe that they have the correct cards for the stories that they were telling. Unless if you don't want to, if you go all the way back, then you can start telling new stories. But I think that's one to go. We can book WrestleMania 34 now, but we can't do anything about WrestleMania 33 unless we go way back to October.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Billy, thank you for coming on my show tonight. And where can the fans follow you on Twitter throughout the whole WrestleMania season? And, of course, tonight with Friday night or Thursday, SmackDown Live. Wow, I'm throwing out all the former names of SmackDown here tonight.
Right. We are the Dirty Sheets. That's our podcast. We're at Dirty Sheets Pod. My Twitter is at Billi Bhatti. That's Billi Bhatti. I'm one of the few verified wrestling journalists out there. And my website is dirtyjesus.net. We sell betting packages there as well, and a lot of those selections will be WWE betting selections. So if you want to bet on the WWE and you kind of want to know where to put your money, then in the final week leading into WrestleMania, when we get very good information, we can pass on those betting selections to you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you again, Billy, for coming on my show tonight, and hope to talk to you maybe after WrestleMania season calms down and recap the big event.
Sure, no problem. I actually had, I believe you had Brian Mann on, didn't you?
Yes, I did a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we had him on ourselves this week, so if you want to do something together, like just check it with Brian, and I'll be cool with that as well.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds great.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for having me on.
Yes, thank you, Billy.
Thanks, man. Bye.
Okay, Feuzion, I'm going back here live on Fusion News in 5 minutes. 4 shows today. Wow, a lot of shows here tomorrow. Okay, Feuzion, I just wrapped up that interview with Billi Bhatti. He's across the pond over there in London, England. Very good wrestling analyst. You can follow him on Twitter, just like he said to do. Okay, Feuzion, I'll see you in 5 minutes. Stay here. Thanks for watching.